All right, good afternoon, everybody. Can I get the board members and those on stage to please have a seat? Is it hot? It's hot, okay. How is I-4? Something about a strawberry festival. Good afternoon, everybody. Gorgeous day. We thought it was going to rain, and I don't know, which we were hoping for. But thanks for being here today. We did have one mix-up at the badge station. Is there a Dr. Patel? We have a missing badge for a Dr. Patel. First and foremost, I do want to thank Rachel Freeman and Shawnette Alford for putting together such an incredible event. We tried to change so many things, and they let us, which is surprising. My name is Chad Tujog. I'm incredibly fortunate to serve as the chair of the Board of Trustees for the Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine. If you can't see me, I'm sorry. I have a weird relationship with podiums, height-wise. Please forgive me in advance for any stutters, pauses, or missteps. This is just an overwhelming event for us. We're so grateful to be here, and it's been a really long journey. So I'll say the OCOM vision is another legacy achievement for Dr. Kiran C. Patel. I remember when we started with myself, Trustee Phil, and Dean Hasty, our goal was to make Doctors Kiran and Pallavi Patel, Sonali, Sheetal, and Shilan, and the Patel family proud. To do something that would make our families proud and our loved ones also proud. To deliver a medical school that looks into the future and cares for the patients of tomorrow. And as you all sit here today, I'll acknowledge that that's slightly shifted. Our Board of Trustees, Dr. Sandra Dunbar-Smalley, Dr. Marlo Hernandez, Dr. Andrew Fink, Dr. Gilbert Singletary, Anna Adnesio, Bill Orr, and others that you'll see from today will acknowledge that vision's changed a little bit. In the crowd today, you guys, we're surrounded by the ecosystem of medicine, physicians, nurses, educators. Our goal now is to make our faculty and staff proud. Our goal is to make our students leaders in medicine and proud to attend and learn here. To make our hospital partners proud that they have OCOM students and OCOM physicians on their staff. And finally, hopefully our goal is to make patients seek out the care from physicians that graduate from OCOM as one of the most respected names in medical education. It's because of the ecosystem to support the continuum of access to care that we are able to carry out Dr. K's and OCOM's mission. I'd love to start with a huge round of applause for everybody in this audience today. Our OCOM team had their first inaugural Accepted Students Day in February under the guidance of Stacy K, Stacy S, Katie, Krista, Jen, and the rest of the admissions committee, which was a smash hit. Our team was working so diligently domestically, but also abroad. Our founding chair of Osteopathic Principles and Practice, Dr. Darren McCauley, who has served over 24 years of military service, including multiple deployments to Iraq and most recently Saudi Arabia, is here with us today. Dr. McCauley oversees over 2,000 airmen as a member of the Air National Guard throughout the state of Florida. On active duty, Christmas Day 2023, Colonel Darren McCauley was flying over the Middle East, and today he's here with us to present the same American flag that was represented on that flight. To lead us in our national anthem, I welcome the highest ranking Air Force physician in the state of Florida, Colonel Darren McCauley.
Thank you all. I'd like everyone to please continue to stand and enjoy the national anthem sung by Miss Samantha Hasty.
what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thanks, Samantha. Thank you, Dr. Darren McCauley. So the creation of this medical school is a dream that's been brewing for 75 years, which is marked by our visionary founder's birthday today, the birthday of Dr. Kiran C. Patel. Some say, this happened overnight. Overnight for many, but essentially every night for others. The founding team here and its promise, the Patel family, has been working every night for the last 4 years to make sure that this institution creates caring and compassionate students who go into practice as true pillars of their community. With the incisive support from our Board of Trustees, the 24/7 work ethic from our dean, and the methodical, collegial, nonstop efforts from our faculty and staff, shout out to Lem and Shazam and everybody else, we could not have made it to this day. Before we cut the ribbon, we have 28 clinical affiliations and over 1,000 credentialed clinical preceptors. None of that would have been possible without the work of this incredible team. The contribution of Dr. Kiran C. Patel and the Patel family to medicine is a weight that may never be matched. The seeds that have been sown by the Patel family have already blossomed into the ivy that surrounds the history of medical education forever. Our next speaker's journey started 51 years ago. Her name is printed on thousands of degrees annually as a result of a very successful partnership with the Nova Southeastern College of Healthcare Sciences. For the prayer to Goddess Saraswati to bless our educational institute, I welcome physician, businesswoman, and philanthropist, Dr. Pallavi Patel.
Thank you. On this auspicious day, we would like to pray to the goddess Saraswati, the goddess of education, so that we get blessed for this OCOM to be here for many, many years and produce some great doctors. Ya kundendu tushar har davla ya shubhrava sravruta ya veena varadand manditakara ya shwet padmasana ya brahma Jyoti Shankara Prabhrutibi Devai Sada Vandita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Ni Sheshajarya Paha.
Thank you, Dr. P. Our next speaker is our president and CEO, Dr. Daniel Newhaller, who graduated, we won't say what year, from the Southern College of Osteopathic Medicine, which we coincidentally know today as the Dr. Kiran C. Patel College of Osteopathic Medicine at Nova Southeastern University. Dan has been such an asset for OCOM, providing incredible leadership. You can tell he definitely used to be an emergency physician, because whether it's an accreditation site visit, a construction deadline, Dr. Newhaller keeps our blood pressure even, our heart rate low, and lets us lead with our minds. I welcome Dr. Daniel Newhaller.
Thank you, Chairman Tujag, and thank you to Phil Zaveri, and to the rest of the Board of Trustees. I want to thank, special thanks to Dr. Robert Hasty and, of course, the Patel family for allowing me to be a part of this great achievement. Good afternoon, and welcome to the new the new Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine, which we are here to officially open today. This building is a physical result of all the dedication and hard work of all of us here today, to the many in the community who worked and supported this ideal, and to the top quality faculty and staff we have recruited. So what is the ideal? It's nothing less than world-class education and training of tomorrow's osteopathic physicians. And to those new young physicians, we will graduate into a world of complexity, change, and medical discoveries unmatched in human history. They will be called upon not only to deliver the best medical care to each individual patient they see, but to do so in a constantly advancing medical environment of hospitals, technology, and specialists undreamed of even a decade ago. The future world of medical practice these new doctors will be entering in could be the subject of an hours-long speech, which I will mercifully not be giving you today. Instead, let me summarize by saying that OCOM's mission will be to train caring and competent osteopathic physicians who will have an impact on Central Florida, the nation, and the global community. They will not only be well-rounded physicians, our new on-doctoring curriculum will guide them to an understanding of how the broader medical environment works, how rapidly it is evolving, and how they can fit their patients and their patients' families into it. So it's not about only mastering medicine. It's also the basics of old-fashioned empathy and the patient and family communication in the business of medicine. It's also the mistakes you don't want to make coming out of residency, and such practical matters as the expectations and needs of the hospitals and the healthcare entities you will be dealing with as a new physician, and awareness of the potential of future healthcare. And I must also mention the cost to our students going forward. This is an extremely steep endeavor for a lot of people, and I want to thank our armed services for a number of military scholarships being made available to our students, and the incredible opportunity they can provide for qualified students who might not otherwise be able to become osteopathic physicians. And at this time, I'd like to ask our military recruitings to stand, please, and be recognized. From the U.S. Navy, Captain Shauna O'Sullivan and Petty Officer Stephen Kuhn. And from the U.S. Army, Major Mercedes Gonzalez and Staff Sergeant Nicole Sepulveda. Thank you all for your service. And finally, much thanks to all of you for taking the time away from your busy schedule in an effort to share in the celebration of the new Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Newholler. So it's not just the medical folks here that made this building possible. I did, as we have Mayor Demings here, we're graced with his availability today, to just say a special thank you to Deputy County Administrator John Weiss, building officials Tom Heatherman, Matthew Espinosa, and Tawana Jones for really helping us pull that CO across the finish line. Since day one, this entire county has embraced our diversity and Dr. Kiran Patel's commitment to social tailwinds. And here to hopefully announce a new stop on the Bright Line right here is OCOM Mayor Jerry Demings, Orlando Mayor.
All right, good afternoon to all of you. I'm truly honored to be here today for this auspicious occasion. To Dr. Kiran Patel and Pallavi Patel, thank you for the investment in this community. To Dr. Robert Hasty, who brought me out and toured me through the site when this was just a construction site. We've come a long way since those days. To the President, Dr. Newholler. He and I graduated from high school in the same year here in Orange County, and so we both have come a long way, right, Doc? Also, to all of the other important people who are here today, this is a wonderful opportunity. I had the opportunity to speak to Skylar Bentley earlier, one of the new students here, and you'll hear from her in just a few moments. But in speaking with her, I know that the future is bright. This cohort of students are destined for greatness. If there's any indication of that from speaking with Skylar, I am certain that they will do good for all of us here within this community. We have been working with the Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine now for several years to bring this project to fruition. OCOM has invested over $200 million in this state-of-the-art facility, which will profoundly impact our community. The total economic impact in the region is anticipated at $1.7 billion over the next 20 years, including supporting over 9,000 jobs and contributing more than $86 million to the state and local governments. On March the 5th of this year, the Board of County Commissioners approved an agreement between Orange County and OCOM related to the Experiential Learning Placement Program. That's a partnership with the Orange County Health Services Department, and I know that Dr. Raul Pino is somewhere here. Dr. Pino, where are you? I know he's here. And also, the Florida Department of Health at Orange County and the director, Dr. Kosh, is here as well. These two gentlemen will work very closely with you as we deliver medicine to those in need within our community. We are excited about the opportunities that the college will offer to our residents and future osteopathic physicians. The college's patient-centered approach and advanced training facility will make it a shining example in the medical field for our local community and the nation, and Dr. Patel, the world. And it's higher education institutions like this that are preparing talent to support innovation, contribute to high-paying jobs, and help diversify our economy. Again, I want to thank Dr. Hasty and the entire board for your leadership and partnership in this significant investment in our community. On behalf of the more than 1.5 million people who call Orange County home, I do thank you for this investment in our community and what it means. This is definitely a game changer for our community. Thank you, and God bless.
The Bright Line? Okay, no, Bright Line's next year. So yesterday we had our quarterly board meeting, and our only action item that I put on there was that Dr. Hasty can't stand next to me in pictures. He's a tall guy, so. So next up will be Dr. Hasty. If anyone's met Dr. Hasty, you totally can't deny this guy's sheer mental horsepower. He really, looms large in osteopathic medicine, and he works nonstop, but somehow still listens and cares about everyone has to say. His work product is immense, but still has time to meet with you whenever you need him. It is my absolute honor to introduce an impressive man, friend, and leader. He's eager. And one of the most brilliant minds in medical education, the founding dean of the Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine, Dean Dr. Robert Hasty.
Thanks. So thank you, Chairman Tujag. I can tell you, I was so incredibly excited for today. I couldn't even sleep last night. This is an amazing day for everybody. Before I start, I may be a little biased, but I don't know if you noticed this, but the national anthem speaker happened to be my daughter. But, and by the way, Chad, we got her on a pretty good price. So, but I'll tell you, that was the best rendition of the national anthem I think I've ever heard. But so Samantha's 13 years old, and she wants to be a physician. Of course, she wants to go to OCOM one day, and it's pretty special when you're the founding dean of a medical school to design it and have that thought to make it a medical school that you'd want your own daughter to go to. And so that was part of the perspective that I brought with OCOM. So today is a historic day. It's a historic day as we open the nation's newest medical school. It's a historic day for Central Florida as we open Central Florida's first osteopathic medical school, and it's a historic day for this medical school that we call OCOM. I have three things I want to mention to you today. Number one, a message of deep appreciation and gratitude. Number two, I have some major announcements for OCOM today. And number three, I have a blessing and a wish for OCOM. So there's a old saying, if you see a turtle on a lamppost, it didn't get there by accident. And I think the same is true when you see a medical school on an old orange grove. And there's something to that if you think about it. So I'll start by my deep appreciation and gratitude for our founders, Dr. Kiran C. Patel and Dr. Pallavi Patel. These are visionary folks who dream big and make big things happen. They believe in paying it forward to the next generation. And OCOM would not be possible without them. Thank you, Dr. Kiran C. Patel and Dr. Pallavi Patel. Next, I want to thank my colleagues, friends, board members, Chairman Tujag and Treasurer Phil Zaveri. And they've just been incredible. We've been there since the very beginning, and OCOM wouldn't be there without them. And I can tell you, people ask me all the time, it's amazing what we've done with OCOM in the last 3 years and what we've developed here. But I'd like to point out that the three of us, I think, have each spent 9 years on OCOM over the last 3 years. It's been an incredible endeavor. And I also want to mention my deep gratitude for my team, the Dean's Council, the folks that I work with each day to make this possible. These are incredible leaders. This is the highest performing team I've ever had the honor of working with. This team can do anything, and I can tell you what we're going to do in the future with this team, I am so excited for. And next, I also want to talk to you about the OCOM faculty and staff. I've been involved with a number of different medical schools. I can tell you the OCOM faculty and staff are the finest faculty and staff of any medical school ever. You can applause for that one. They are incredibly caring, and the curriculum that the faculty has developed is really the most modern medical school curriculum in the country, and it's going to be the most supportive and caring environment I've ever seen. I also want to highlight something that Chairman Tujag said. We have 1,037 credentialed clinical preceptors and clinical faculty as of now. the support from the physician community, especially in Central Florida and the entire state of Florida, has been incredible. This is probably the most number of preceptors and clinical faculty on ribbon cutting day of any medical school ever, and they are so excited to train the next generation of physicians. Also, I want to talk about our 28 affiliated healthcare systems, and I'm going to make a few announcements here closely, but the support that we have has just been incredible. Also, you're going to hear from one of our inaugural class members, Skylar, in the class of 2028, and these are an incredible group of physicians who are taking a chance on a brand new medical school in a place that's never had an osteopathic medical school in Central Florida, and they are an incredible group. I also want to specifically mention the American Osteopathic Association and the entire osteopathic family. Our entire osteopathic family is well represented here today. With us today is the president of the American Osteopathic Association, Dr. Ira Maka, the CEO of the American Osteopathic Association, Kathleen Creason. We're also well represented today by the executive director of the Florida Osteopathic Medical Association, Mr. Steve Wynn, and the president of the Florida Osteopathic Medical Association, President Dr. Marku. And we also have Dr. Jeff Nelson, who is the president of the District Society 3, which is our local district for the Florida Osteopathic Medical Association. Additionally, we have the executive director of the American College of Osteopathic Internists, Karen Caruth, and her daughter Avery, who are here with us today. And I also want to mention, I happen to be the president right now of the American College of Osteopathic Internists, and I have the honor of working with Karen on a daily basis. And I also want to thank all of my friends, my personal friends, our OCOM friends, our family, who have traveled literally around the world in some cases to be with us today, this incredible group of people who care very deeply about OCOM, training the next generation. Thank you all. I also want to just share my deep appreciation for an institution that we stood up in the creation of OCOM. Dr. Kiran C. Patel had a vision to create 1,000 new residency positions over the next 10 years. And we started something called the Dr. Kiran C. Patel Institute for Graduate Medical Education. And that particular institute was stood up, and about a month ago, one of our partners for the GME Institute, as we call it, Baycare, announced that they've created 165 newly created residency positions at St. Joe's Hospital in Tampa, and I couldn't be more excited about that. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. So of course, I was there when Dr. K got the news of the 165 new positions. You know what he said? That's a good start. Also, just a little bit about my gratitude about mentorship and how mentorship is. There's two other people I want to also recognize today. The first being the chairwoman of the Florida Board of Osteopathic Medicine, Dr. Tiffany DiPietro. She was one of my former students, residents, and mentees, and I couldn't be more proud that she joined us today. So thank you, Dr. DiPietro. And speaking of mentorship, actually I have my first non-family mentor with us today. Most people don't know I'm probably the only medical school in the world that is a grocery store retiree. I worked at Publix as a kid growing up, and I was rough around the corners. This kid that was growing up, 14 years old, worked at Publix for 5 years. There was a gentleman by the name of Dave Freeborn who was there with me, and he mentored me and made such a huge impact to my life. So sitting in the front row is another Publix retiree, Mr. David Freeborn, of 45 years of service to Publix supermarkets. So thank you, Dave. Thanks. So a number of major announcements today for OCOM. This first one I've been waiting for a long time to make, and we've been hoping and praying a lot for it. So there's a hospital across the street from us and a major healthcare player in the market called Orlando Health. I can announce today that we now have a pathway for our medical students to rotate at the Orlando Health facilities. So we're represented today by President Maggie Bonko, who's the president of the hospital across the street, Dr. James Brown, who's the vice president, and a lot of other friends and colleagues from Orlando Health. Now, I can tell you in Orange County, and the mayor can probably say this, you mentioned one of the two hospital systems here, you got to mention the other one. And we love Advent Health as well. And with us today is the Chief Academic Officer for Advent Health, Dr. Joe Portuguese, standing in the back. Thank you very much for the support. They were one of our first hospital affiliations, and also one of our Board of Trustees, Dr. Sandy Dunbar-Smalley, is Vice President of Leadership for Advent Health. We also have the President of Advent Health University, Dr. Goshen, here today. We love Advent Health, and we love Orlando Health, too. So thank you. So, next announcement today, we now have an affiliation with the Veterans Affairs Administration, America's largest trainer of physicians in America. In fact, over 50% of, you can clap for that. Over 50% of all physicians in America received at least some of their training at a VA facility, and we're joined by so many leaders from the VA today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support of OCOM. Also, to make an announcement today, Lakeland Regional Health, which is home of America's second busiest emergency department, and it is the developing home of what will be Florida's newest statutory teaching hospital. We now have a pathway forward to having our students rotate there clinically starting in 2026. Thank you, Dr. Finnegan. Thank you, Dr. McCann. Also up is we have affiliation with Premier Medical Associates. They have a footprint throughout Central Florida, multi-specialty group. In fact, I have a family member who gets their care there, and we have several leaders from Premier Medical Associates here with us today. We couldn't be more thrilled about that relationship. Also, Halifax Health is a 3-hospital system based in Tampa, an excellent hospital system. There's a Dr. Hamiden, who is Chief of Staff, who is here with us today, who's made it possible that we can announce that we now have a pathway for Halifax Health in Daytona, in that area, for our students to rotate. We couldn't be more thrilled about that as well. Thanks. We're also joined today by a friend, President Tim Moore of the Indian River State College. Indian River State College is what's called an MSI, a minority serving institution, with 57% of their students being part of an underrepresented minority. It's a 4-year college, and I'm proud to announce that today we now have an articulation agreement with Indian River State College to give those graduates opportunities to come to OCOM, and thank you, President Moore. There's an organization called Elsevier. Some of you may know Elsevier. Elsevier is one of America's leading library resources and learning resources. Elsevier also happens to be the maker of America's most advanced anatomical learning product for virtual anatomy. They have a partnership with Apple, and with this, they are designing a new product for the Apple Vision Pro. And today we can announce that OCOM is now a design partner with Elsevier for their Apple Vision Pro product. So thank you, Elsevier. And also, we have begun construction on solar panels for the top of OCOM. The majority of power that OCOM will come from renewable and solar resources in this incredibly modern, incredibly green building. And I'm so excited for you to see OCOM a little bit later today, for you to take a tour around this most modern medical school in the nation, what I think is going to be an incredible place for our medical students. And I specifically want to mention Wayne Dunkelberger and Johnny Dagger from Baker Barrios Associates, who designed this medical school of the future. Thank you. So I just have one more thing. The founder of our profession, his name was Dr. A.T. Still. Many of you probably know that Dr. A.T. Still would always carry a cane with him wherever he went in his later years. All of the canes, except for one, are in the Museum of Osteopathic Medicine in Kirksville, Missouri. A local physician and friend of OCOM, Dr. Thomas Crow, is with us today, received a cane from his mentor, who received it from the granddaughter of Dr. A.T. Still. And he has now given this as a long-term loan so that we can create the OCOM Museum, and it's located in a case outside the Osteopathic Manipulative Medicine Lab, and I hope you all see that when you walk through the building today. And I can tell you, I do not believe in magical thinking, but ever since we got that cane a few weeks ago, every light turns green for us. And so it's something to behold. So I hope you all see that today. So I'm going to leave you all with a blessing and wish for OCOM. To all future medical students, faculty, staff, visitors who come to this incredible medical school, welcome. OCOM is your medical school where caring and expert faculty and staff will train the osteopathic physicians who will deeply care for patients using their expert skills and knowledge. OCOM is dedicated to these great ideals with the hope that it will be a medical school that will be a leader in support of its mission for generations to come. Godspeed to Dr. Kiran C. and Dr. Pallavi K. Patel. Godspeed for all of our family and friends who joined us today. And Godspeed to OCOM. Thank you very much. Next, I want to call up one of our trustees, Phil K. Zaveri, who's been an amazing colleague and friend, to say a few words.
Thank you. Dr. Hasty, thank you so much. You're a critical component of this team. None of this would be done, or we would not be capable to pull off this entire vision without you. You're an inspiration to so many and a pioneer in the field of osteopathic medicine. Please give another round of applause to Dr. Robert Hasty. And speaking of pioneers, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our next speaker, who is a member of OCOM's very first inaugural class. She, along with fellow classmates, will be paving the way for osteopathic students in Central Florida for many years to come. When the Board of Trustees was developing OCOM's mission, it was imperative that community was at the heart of this institution. With this in mind, I commend our admissions team for selecting Skylar Bentley to give this speech on behalf of our inaugural class. Skylar Bentley is a local native to Florida and has spent the last 4 years nearby at the University of Central Florida studying health sciences. She has ambitions to practice medicine in Central Florida, one day as a neurologist, and has selected the osteopathic profession in hopes to provide a more holistic care to her future patients. Skylar embodies the characteristics of the ideal OCOM student. She is caring, ambitious, and is deeply committed to serving her community. Let's give a warm welcome to Skylar Bentley.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zavari, for the kind introduction. I wanted to really give a thank you to all of the admission staff and to Dr. Hasty and Dr. Newwaller for making me feel so welcome for the start and for sharing so much excitement with me throughout this entire journey. And I'd also like to thank the Patel family for turning the dreams into so many, including myself, into a reality. Dear esteemed guests, faculty, and fellow future physicians, today marks a pivotal moment as we stand on the threshold of a new era in medical education. As a lifelong Floridian and resident of Orlando, the prospect of serving as a physician in Central Florida fills me with immense pride, and it gives me a sense of duty to give back to the community that has given so much to me. One of the most thrilling aspects of being part of OCOM's inaugural class is the opportunity to shape the culture of a medical college that will nurture compassionate and caring physicians for generations to come. OCOM's emphasis on nurturing students' physical, mental, and spiritual well-being equips us with the capacity and drive to achieve our utmost potential in learning. OCOM's lecture-free, case-based curriculum emphasizes hands-on learning, early clinical engagement, and research integration, all laying a solid groundwork for our medical students to excel. With OCOM's invaluable support, I'm determined to fulfill my dream of becoming a neurologist in Central Florida that will address the unique healthcare challenges in our own community. Amidst the maze of medical terminology and late nights of studying, I've learned that a dash of humor is just as essential as our stethoscopes. So here's to embracing the occasional medical bun and keeping our aspirations as high enough to heal. With open hearts and minds, I would like us to all give gratitude to everyone who has played a part in bringing OCOM to life. I am deeply appreciative of the opportunity to be a part of OCOM's inaugural class. Thank you.
Thank you again, Skylar. We can't wait to see what you and your fellow classmates accomplish during your time here at OCOM. So it feels like just yesterday that the Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine was simply an idea. 4 years ago, I sat with Dr. Patel in his living room where he shared his vision of graduating 1,000 physicians annually from Patel colleges around the world. At that moment, I was taken aback. This was no small task for an institution, let alone one individual. The real reason I was so moved in that moment was because I knew that once Dr. Patel set his mind to this goal, that he would not fall short. At the office, Dr. Patel likes to remind us that vision without execution is simply hallucination. And further, that hope is not a strategy. These words are impactful, but what's even more powerful is watching Dr. Patel operate day in and day out, putting these words into action. He is constantly achieving what many feel is impossible, from founding multiple unicorn companies to cutting infant mortality rates by more than 90% in the villages of India. Dr. Patel is always raising the bar, and I am proud to say that today is no different, because with the opening of Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine's, Dr. Patel has cemented his dream of graduating 1,000 physicians annually. Dr. Patel's execution is methodical, and his will is immeasurable. But what is even more impressive is his vision. We talked about vision without execution is hallucination, but on the contrary, execution without vision is no way to leave a lasting impact. And that is what Dr. Patel is all about, leaving a lasting impact, something that is sustainable and will survive for generations to come. Now imagine the compounding effect of graduating 1,000 physicians. The average physician sees 25 patients a day. That's roughly 6,000 patient encounters a year. By the year 2074, 50 years from today, approximately 50,000 physicians will have graduated from Patel colleges around the globe. This translates into over 250 million patient lives touched. And of course, Dr. Patel would probably want me to mention, that's with me rounding down. Doctors Kiran and Pallavi Patel, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the executive leadership team, I would like to thank you both for entrusting us with your very important vision. Now, without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to one of our world's great visionaries, a fearless leader, a philanthropist who knows no borders, a disruptor across many industries, and of course, Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine's founder, Dr. Kiran C. Patel.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. Hey, Phil, where are my slides? I don't see any pointers here. About 150 slides to show to people. I know the weather is good in many ways. Thankfully, there is no rain. Initially, we were hoping to have the event indoors, but for the response that we had, it was not practical and possible to do it inside. So first, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here to support me and our mission. And thank you very much. A big round of applause for you. It truly is an honor to see so many of our incredible community leaders, esteemed guests, friends, and family. Today, March 10, 2024, is a momentous day. We are here to celebrate not only my 75th birthday, but we are getting together to be spending time with the faculty and our staff on a journey of discovery and empowerment. And together, we will make a difference and change the face of healthcare across the globe. To the members of this inaugural class of Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine, your mission as future doctors is to embrace the unthinkable and redefine the boundaries of what is achievable. I am a firm believer that we live in a world where boundaries of possibilities are limitless, where the unattainable is achievable, where the impossible can be conquered by those brave enough to explore, where unwavering persistence and relentless perseverance leads to victory. My life journey to date has proven that the word impossible is not in my vocabulary. Thank you. All my life, I've broken barriers and made many impossible possible. Depending on your time here, I will give you a few examples of what I have done. From early childhood, there was only one thought in mind that I had: my profession is going to be a physician. And with a single focus of end in mind, all my career pointed there. After, when I came back of graduating in 1974, came to Zambia in practice, one of my patients reminded me, he was a babysitter of mine, reminded me that when I was a kid, less than 3-4 years old, I used to give him play injections, and today he said, you are giving me the real injections. So when I was in the medical school, I became a president of the union or general secretary of the college, as we call it in India, simply after 1 year. I was the first medical student from Gujarat University in India to go and do the internship in Zambia. I landed in United States on November 25, 1976. Important because it was the Thanksgiving Day and the bicentennial year. I really did not know what Thanksgiving was, but today I can surely say that this country has given me a lot, and what I am today is thanks to America. In 1982, graduating out of my fellowship, I immediately bought a practice in Tampa. This is also unheard of because most physicians out of residencies are looking for job. Some of the bankers here will also let you know how aggressive I am. And in those days, right out of residency, I used my MD and borrowed money from the bank to buy a practice. The first month's revenue was $3,000, and I was wondering how the heck I can make $100,000 a year, not a month. Then in 1987, I started an insurance company. HMO was a new word then, and when physicians were looking at the insurance before they see a patient, my policy was take care of the patient first and worry about the insurance later. What turned out on that is when nobody wanted to see these patients, I was able to take care of them, and in a short span was able to have 13 to 14 locations in the Hillsborough County. Fast forward then from 82 to 2002, when I exited, I had a monthly revenue of $100 million, and I was employing 1,200 people. So you can see the amazing progress from $3,000 a month, where I was hoping to do $100,000 a year. I reached $100 million a month. In 1994, when I lost my dad, his dream was to build a hospital. And I had built a hospital at a time where my means were not that much. Again, I had to borrow the funds to build a hospital. But I was the first one in India to start a public-private sector partnership between Gujarat government and us to start a hospital. Today, in that very hospital, we are performing 200 deliveries, babies delivered every month. My village size is less than 300 families, but we serve more than 40 villages around our village. And I have another hospital with the government where we do 300 deliveries a month. So if you think about 500 babies are being delivered at our hospital, and at a cost of less than $1 by Indian standard, even very small amount. And when you can see the impact we are doing, 1,200 to 1,500 outpatient visits a day, 500 inpatients daily, and all these at zero cost. And I bring this up because the impact you can see at the individual family level. Can you imagine when somebody, in using an example in United States, have to spend $40,000 for a normal delivery out of the pocket? In India, that delivery would have cost 50,000 rupees. And that type of economic impact we do at a grassroots level. so that they have lot more money to take care of their basic needs rather than health care. So every time when you are seeing us performing things, including schools and hospitals globally, my mission is very simple: how to bring that cost down for people who cannot afford. So today we are here together to celebrate the extraordinary power of human determination, diligence, and grit with of OCOM's official commencement. When the first class of OCOM students walk through these doors this fall, they will join 800 others from Patel universities in USA, India, and Zambia. In total, as we mentioned before, 1,000 future physicians will be receiving education that is unparalleled to their counterparts. Sure, they will learn the fundamentals of medicine, but we will ensure their education goes well beyond that point with inclusion of cutting-edge curriculum and resources, rigorous standards, interpersonal communication, practice, and system-based learning. Our graduates will work to develop access to the sustainable and effective healthcare for rural and frontier communities with an emphasis on remote areas where residents face significant challenges in accessing quality health care. For the first time, my dream is that a student in United States, a student in India, a student in Zambia will be able to go to different places and have a student exchange so that their education will be much better. I believe every individual has a fundamental right to health care, and you, OCOM's future physicians, will help ensure that. We can bridge the gap in healthcare disparities and ensure that all individuals, regardless of their location, race, age, or creed, will have access to medical care. The opening of this medical institution is my family's contribution to advancing healthcare and building a bright future for all. I would like a moment to thank my wife, Dr. Pallavi Patel, as well as our 3 children, Dr. Sonali and Scott Judd. You want to come in the front or stay there? Dr. Sheetal Patel, Shilen and Parita Patel, and my 6 grandchildren. I think the grandchildren should come here. I am so I am proud of my family and their continued confidence to allow me to take risks and dream big. Yeah. Okay. The reason I wanted you here is to remind you of the huge responsibilities that you are taking to make sure that all the inheritance of yours that I'm spending, you will preserve and grow in many, many positive ways. So, Patel family believes in growing our footprint to advance healthcare and education globally. For the first time, we will have a Patel University, Dr. Kiran and Pallavi Patel Global University in India, Zambia, and hopefully soon in United States. Again, the primary reason I went into this was after exploring with many universities the way to bring cost down for students overseas that can never afford the type of fees United States has. So my idea is going to be ensuring a US degree and a US education is provided in different continents at a fraction of a cost that they would spend, and in that way improve the ability of students internationally to be able to be human resources, intellectual capital will be built, which is much needed globally. To OCOM faculty and staff, we appreciate you all choosing to be part of this new opportunity. Your involvement is crucial in shaping the minds of young students and nurturing them to become compassionate future doctors. As faculty members, you have the unique opportunity to impart knowledge, help develop critical thinking skills, and foster a passion for learning within our students. Your expertise and guidance will play a significant role in the educational journey, laying the foundation for their success in the medical field. Additionally, to our community members here today, your support of OCOM is a direct investment in our shared community. Your trust in this institution and its students holds us all higher standards. Collectively, as we prepare for the start of classes and our first white coat ceremony, let us remember that no dream is too big, no challenge is too great, and no goal too far out of reach as long as we are willing to reach for the stars and push the limits to what is possible. Let us remember that together we are stronger. Every choice we make is interconnected. A decision that may seem insignificant to us individually can have a profound effect on others. I would like to conclude with an accounting that provides a compelling perspective. I said when I'm going to conclude, people may start clapping. It's time to get going. So I would like to conclude with an accounting that provides a compelling perspective, a perspective each one of us individually and collectively as an organization can embrace. You can never tell what type of impact you may have on others' life by your action or lack of action. Consider the fact in your venture through life. Imagine there is a bank that credits your account each morning with $86,400 every morning. It carries over no balance from day to day. Every evening, it deletes whatever part of balance you failed to use during the day. What would you do? Most people, I bet, would draw out every cent and find a use for it. Surprisingly, friends, each one of us has such a bank. It doesn't have to be Dr. K or Raj I can see here. But remember, every morning this bank credits you with 86,400 seconds. Every night the account writes off as lost whatever time you have failed to invest in a good purpose. This account carries over no balance. It allows no overdraft. Each day opens a new account for you. Each night burns the remains of the day. If you fail to use the day's deposit, the loss is yours. There is no going back. There is no drawing against tomorrow. You must live in the present and on today's deposits. Invest your time so as to get from it utmost in health, happiness, and success. Make the most of today and each day thereafter. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To know the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to premature baby. To know the value of 1 day, ask a daily wage laborer with child to feed. And to know the value of 1 second, ask a person who just avoided an accident. 1 fraction of a second, ask the person who just won a gold medal in Olympics. So friends, make every moment you live count, because you pursued your passion, because you made difference through Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine. As we close this chapter and move to the next page in the mission of Orlando College of Osteopathic Medicine, remember, OCOM is counting on you. Choose to do what is right for the right reasons, and the right result will follow. Friends, together we can make a difference. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
What an incredible ending to that speech. What an incredible message. Thank you again, Dr. Patel. With that, I would like to invite the Patel family, including the children and grandchildren, along with the Board of Trustees and Executive Leadership Team, to join Doctors Kiran and Pallavi Patel in the cutting of the ribbon. Off stage. I ask that guests please stay seated during the cutting of the ribbon. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Guests, immediately after the cutting of the ribbon, we'd like to invite all guests to join us in the courtyard on the south side of the building for a very special surprise from the executive leadership team to Doctors Kiran and Pallavi Patel. Please look for volunteers wearing lanyards who will help guide you to the courtyard on the south side of the building. Once we unveil this final surprise, we will open the building for self-guided tours and light hors d'oeuvres. All right. Well, with that, this concludes the cutting of the ribbon. We'd like to invite all guests to the south side of the building. You'll find ushers who will direct you to the east side of the building, the west side of the building, and through the building to the courtyard on the other side of the building.
I promise only 5 more minutes outside. Hi, Mom. Congratulations. You did a great job. I gotta get better on this speech.
Thanks,